Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'll be doing a final sort of pre-recorded video. I guess this one is relatively live, only a day later being released or whatever on the 14th, but I think I'll be in the air at this point. But yeah, so I'm just going to do a video here on AFL Fantasy before we get into the all of the team previews. Just going through quickly, filing through all my recaps that I will go through, sort of a quick fire one, and picking out one player per side that I think has the biggest upside. So anyway, let's get into this video. Hopefully 1 minute per team, 1 minute per player, I guess, and 1 minute intro, 1 minute outro. That's a 20-minute video for you guys, so let's get into it. So Adelaide, Edwards, no. Ryan, no. Cummins, no. Cummins, I think, also has a hamstring strain, as I've just heard. Peatling, no. Dawson, no. Laird, no. I think Sid Draper has to be the guy for AFL Fantasy in terms of the best scorer. As you see, he comes into Adelaide midfield to provide run and just agility difference. Priced at 32. That's 30 points easy. It's pretty much always going to be a rookie. So, I mean, I guess I did want to say that I didn't want rookies in the way. So let's actually go back through and just look at the non-rookie players. Who's going to make the most impact out of non-rookie players? I guess you're looking at Peatling and also Cumming. I'd probably say Peatling. Price at 64. I don't like Cumming now that he has an injury. So Peatling, price at 64. I think he can go plus 25-30. Plus 25-30 for Peatling as well is in that sort of 90 range. And has shown that if you take out a score of 12 last year, that being a 33, one not poor score, and the next worst 57, he's shown that he can score as well really well. So yeah, Peatling is the guy that I would say is the one that you'd want to just sort of drop a little bit. There we go. That's always been off by 1 pixel. But anyway, there we go. So that is the Adelaide player, and that is the minute up. Then we go quickly on to, you could say Curtin technically, actually, now looking at it here. Curtin's probably going to be the guy, plus 30 on the technicality. Kitty Coleman, I think, just looking here quickly. Yeah, I'm going to go Kitty Coleman here, just because, yeah, Kitty Coleman's the guy that I want to highlight here. I think he's the best plus 30 potential out of the Lions. Sucks that they have round 3, but because of the 27% discount on the ACL injury that he did last year, basically on his price in 2023, gets him basically 23-point discount, and I think he can go further than that. I think he can go to 80, which is plus 30, so that's why I think Kitty Coleman is the best option. Yes, he will have Zorko there like he had Rich when he was playing, but I think that they've made their style more suited towards these halfbacks with a plus 10 kicks, handballs, and plus 12 marks per game, which should help him out. But the double buy is a little bit interesting, and that's the minute there on the Brisbane Lions. Scrolling further down, we get to the Carlton Blues. Nick Newman, no, he's not going to go. He's not going to go. None of these guys are going to go. I would say it's probably going to be Doherty again, or Sam De Koning. Who's going to... Tom De Koning. Tom De Koning's price at 87. Sam Doherty, 76. You'd probably say Sam Doherty here. I think that Tom De Koning isn't going to have 20 to 30 points of upside. He could have 20 points, but I don't think he's going to have 30, whereas Doherty could realistically have 30. Doherty, 30 points would get him to a 106, whereas Tom De Koning's 30 would get him to a league-leading 117. So I think at that point, you just have to go Doherty here with a 27% reduction, much like that of Kitty Coleman that we just talked about. He gets a reduction from his 2023 numbers of 102, getting him down to a 76, which with a non-early buy, he could be absolutely valuable. So I think he is the one that you'll hear me talk about quite a lot across the Carlton one, but I think he's the one that you want to talk about. Moving on swiftly, Perryman could be one here, 74 priced at. But I think it's going to be Ed Allen actually now looking at it for players that have played before. Ed Allen priced at 42. We know I talk about him getting an 87 in the last round of the season. But yes, I think he could easily go 80 here. 80, 75 is plus 35 or so. And I don't think Perryman is going to jump up all the way up to 105, 110. So out of the players that have played before, that is my category, because I would just be naming basically the best rookie if that wasn't the case. I want to name the best players that have played in the AFL, so aren't minimum price or in that rookie range price. But Ed Allen, slightly out of rookie range price, I think he's going to be the biggest rise up for the Pies, because I have a feeling he gets in that midfield. He's been training really well. Him and Jacob Ryan, I didn't want to include Jacob Ryan, even though he's played, I think he's played like 1 or 2 games of AFL footy, but he got like subbed out on like a 19 or whatever. I didn't want to include him because he's basement price and that's pretty easy to jump to, whereas I think Ed Allen is the one. Moving on, got to make this one quick for Essendon. Side would be the easy one, Sada Hawley. They don't really have anyone, to be honest. So I'm going to say Archie Roberts, priced at 69. I think he can go 85 again. Could hit the 90 marker, which is plus 20. Don't think Nick Martin has much value. Don't think any of these guys have much value. A lot of them are rookies. Essendon, yeah, they play the early bye as well, which makes the rookies more important. And I don't think Ben Hobbs gets really too much of a game. So I think it is the likes of Archie Roberts that will be the one that jumps up. I know he had it could be an outlier, just 4-game run that he had in the AFL, but I think he's genuinely the one that will jump for Essendon. Given that he's priced at 69.7, he's done 85 in the AFL before, and he was consistent around that marker as well. So it would have to be an outlier run, not an outlier game, which is a lot harder. Fremantle, I think you have to go all the way down to the bottom here for Neil Erasmus. I think he finally gets his run here. 42.4, priced at 435k. I think he's massively affected by the sub rule with the AFL, with the discount of 18% as well on his 2023 number of 51.7, gets him down to a 42.4. Remove the 0 from a waffle number, and that revises up to a 112.3, which includes 900s, 5 132, 140 scores. So he's just an absolute monster in the waffle for the last couple of years. And priced at 42 as a forward, he could easily go 70, 75, I feel like, quite easily. If you were to remove, I'm pretty sure his 20, some of his non-sub numbers here, and you'd see that would jump up quite dramatically, I feel like, as he's played quite a lot of sub games for the AFL as well. So I don't want to bring those numbers up quickly because I only have a minute and it's almost done. But I feel like Neil Erasmus is the one that will jump up and solidify himself in the Fremantle midfield. Moving on to Geelong, Sean Manor, no. Ted Closey, no. Bailey Smith is the obvious one. I mean, that was pretty obvious. I was like, where is the guy that's so obvious for them? I was almost going to include Mitch Nevitt, but I think it has to be Bailey Smith. He could be potentially the biggest upsize in the comp. ACL injury takes 30% off of his 83.3, which gets him down to a 58.3. That could be 45 points potentially at the peak, which just seems like the biggest riser out of players that are above the highest rookie price. So yeah, of the number 1 pick in Layla at 340k. So I'm really, really looking forward to him. He's first selection pretty much, and is the guy that I want on the round 3 bye. If there's anyone, I want Bailey Smith, as we've seen him go 120 before, for stretches before. We've seen him go 110. I remember him priced at like 110 for a majority, I swear, of this 2022 campaign. So yeah, we'll see him be comfortably the best forward to have. Then we get to Gold Coast. Gold Coast, this one's a tough one. I feel like maybe Jake Rogers here, just because he could really just sort of balloon out from that price that he's at the moment at 354k, just above rookie price. If you wanted someone else to probably go out, maybe Daniel Rioli, but I feel like he's not going to gain as much as Jake Rogers. If Jake Rogers gets even just a non-sub role and gets 10 to 15% midfield time regularly, I feel like he's going to be the guy that goes around about that 60 marker, which 60 is plus 26 on his normal price stat point, and plus 26, that's hard to see Rioli go 110. So yeah, I think he's going to be the big jumper. Maybe you could say Will Graham, but Will Graham would have to jump up to, for plus 26, Will Graham would have to jump up to an 84 or 85, which is quite hard to see with the midfield of Raul, Miller, and also Anderson already there, and also Liam Lombard moving into that. But anyway, we move on. GWS, this one is tough, to be honest with you, to see anyone outside of basement price players to jump up. Honestly, I have no one here, so I'm just going to go off a limb and say Lockie Ash, or maybe even, you'd probably actually have to say a Tom Green. This one isn't a good one, but Tom Green I know is priced at like 99.9. Even though they have the early, I feel like he can get to the 110 marker. I know he's not included in this because of that sake, and I don't think Lockie Whitfield will be, he will gain much either. So I feel like Tom Green's the one that I really want to highlight here, even though I don't have any stats for, because every single player for GWS that I'm highlighting, other than the likes of a Lockie Whitfield, is below that threshold and doesn't actually meet this category. I guess you could say Connor Stone has played a little bit in the AFL, but like it doesn't really meet that category that I was talking about. Moving on to Hawthorn, I want to say it's going to be Josh Ward, but that's probably being ultra optimistic. I have a feeling the easy choice is just to say Will Day to return back to 95 plus 20 points per game. But Josh Ward is pretty much the same as well. He could easily do plus 20, if not even plus 25 and get to an 81. So I will talk about Josh Ward, even though Will Day seems like the obvious one. So yeah, Josh Ward, 56 priced out. I feel like he can do 80 if he just gets into that midfield. But it's just hard to see him get into that midfield with Warple, Nash, Will Day, Newcomb, as well as potentially even Cam McKenzie or Connor McDonald minutes. So yeah, it's hard to see him get that role. But even if it's a wing on ball roll, I could see him going 75-80, which is still plus 25 or so points at the peak end. So that's why I think Josh Ward is the highest riser out of non-rookies at Hawthorn. And then we get to Melbourne. And Melbourne, which one do you want to go for? Do you want to talk about both? Do you want to go... who goes more out of Petrarca or Oliver? I think you have to go Oliver just because he's priced 13 lower than Petrarca, and I think that there won't be a 13 gap there, to be honest with you. I think Clayton Oliver has the biggest plus 30 potential. I don't think Petrarca goes much more than 105, 110, which is 15 to 20, which Oliver, if he goes 100, beats that out. So that's why I think Oliver is probably going to be more... is going to jump more than the likes of Petrarca, but I feel like Petrarca will probably average more than Oliver, which is a weird thing to say, to be honest with you. But yeah, I have a feeling that Oliver's going to be the one that jumps it up. I have a feeling that he just needs a full preseason under his belt and he jumps back up. He probably won't jump back up to 110, but I have a feeling he jumps into the 100, 105 range. I forget what I say with the Melbourne team preview itself, but I have a feeling that's what I would say. So yeah, Clayton Oliver is the one there. Then we get to scrolling down to the... Oh yeah, I know who I want to go down. 1 second. Let me get down to him. Yep, it's Caleb Daniel. Simply put, easy. 50.1. I have a feeling he's plus 40. Much to the same of Bailey Smith. I think these two will go pretty much next to each other as the biggest complete holds that we have across the year out of players that in our starting squad, and they'll be the biggest risers. In terms of he will go potentially plus 40, match Bailey Smith's plus 40 or so. So yeah, I have Caleb Daniel being the big one out of the Kangaroos, priced roughly around 50 or 514k. I have a feeling he goes back to even just 85 to 90 range is almost 350k in value that he can generate just like that. So yeah, he's basically a mid-pricer that should be ending up as one of the number one primos in the forward line. So that's my point there. Port Adelaide. Honestly, it could be Logan Evans just off the fact that he's... I'm probably going to go Logan Evans. I have a feeling he jumps up to 90 or 85, which is plus, mid-90s I said to match Houston, which would be plus 25. I have a feeling he goes plus 15 or plus 20, which I just don't think that... I don't see Connor Rozee going 117 in competition leading form. I have a feeling that Logan Evans is more likely to go plus 90, even though Connor Rozee is going to be more fancy relevant with his plus 5 or 10, 15 range jumper that he'll get. I have a feeling that Logan Evans will beat him out in terms of averages, rises, and go plus... I have a feeling he goes plus 20 to 90. I have a feeling that's where he lands, which could be absolutely... huge for some cash generation on a non-early buy. I'm pretty sure Port don't have the early buy, which would be really good if they... I'm pretty sure they don't, because that's why we're targeting Rozee and Butters, etc. and Jason Horne-Francis. Okay, then we move on to the next side, which is Richmond. Jaden Short, I think, is the only guy. Jaden Short or Tim Taranto, I think. Yep, Jaden Short or Tim Taranto. I have a feeling that Jaden Short has the biggest scope. I talked with Rowan about this, and I did flag it in my Richmond preview as well, that I think Jaden Short Richmond will slow down their game style fractionally. I know that they're bottom 4 for uncontested possessions and marks. If they slow it down as well as Rioli leaving, I think that opens a gaping hole for Jaden Short to go 95 or so again, which he's done in the past. 93, 97, 92, and 80.5 in 2024. I feel like that can jump up back 10 to 15 points. And I just don't know if Tim Taranto in such a poor team can go 110 when he's probably just going to get absolutely tagged by any other side, as he's their only midfielder that is really good enough. So that's my point there. I don't know if Tim Taranto has that ability. St Kilda, this one's a tough one, I have a feeling. It's Philippou. Simply put, it's Philippou. Is it Philippou or McRae? I'm going to go Philippou just because of that. He's 7 points cheaper, or almost 8 points cheaper, 7.5 points cheaper than the likes of McRae. And I have a feeling he goes 90, McRae goes 95. And therefore he's 2 or 3 more than McRae. As we see in this mid-run in 2024, he had 4 games of 106.5. I have a feeling 90 is on the cards here. He'll have some dud games, but I have a feeling he's going to be that next forward that really just generates us cash in that forward role and is really just well above the rest in terms of the other sort of wingers or half forwards that play there, whereas he's going to be genuinely on ball. I have a feeling he's going to have 1 or 2 games where he goes 130, 140 plus and genuinely smashes it out. But a 90, 95 range for him is somewhere where I see it, which is massive, almost plus 30. And then move on to Sydney. I'm going to go Sheldrick. I'm going to go against the grain. If he doesn't start, then this will absolutely blow up. But if he starts round 1, he is going to be the guy that jumps. 43.7, we saw in VFL, if you remove an actual 2 or something or 6 that he scored against, I think, Bulent, he goes up to 98.8. In his non-sub games in the AFL, he's already done 82.5. Like, there's plus 40 there potentially, and I just don't see it with Mills or Roberts. So if he plays, he's there. If he doesn't play, it's going to be Mills, because Mills will get that midfield role. But yeah, it's either Sheldrick or Mills. I'm going to go and back my gut that Sheldrick starts, and I'm going to go with him. I have a feeling if he starts, he goes 82 across the whole year, let alone just a 5-game stretch in 2023, as he's really, really spent his time in the VFL, done his apprenticeship there, and I have a feeling this is the make or break for him in 2025 in terms of playing at Sydney in the midfield. I could have said Caden Cleary, but he's still in rookie range. West Coast Eagles, could say Harley, could say Jimby, Grego, Hewitt's just outside of it. I will sort of mention Hewitt, even though he's just on the range of it. I'll say it just because I have a feeling he's going to be the one that jumps up. Could easily just average on ball when he played in 2023, average 56.1. I sort of expect a 70, which is plus 40. I know he's just inside the range, so I'm tweaking it just fractionally at the end here. But I have a feeling Hewitt's going to be the one that we all look at in terms of the biggest fantasy jumps. I know just inside, but say he's 341k for the sake of it. I mean, he's going to be near enough the top price rookie that we actually look at, because who was picked at 3? 3 was, that would have been, I don't remember who was picked 3, but yeah, he would have been near enough the top ranked rookie. So that's going to be actually selected. So yeah, that's that. I've forgotten who's picked 3. Oh yeah, Jagger, sorry. So yeah, he will be next to Jagger. Then the Bulldogs, who actually jumps for them? Sanders, you could say, I feel like is, yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be Sanders. I know Luke Clear is just below, and I don't want to break my rule twice, so I'm going to go Sanders here. 63.9 he's priced at. I have a feeling he goes 80, 85. It's not going to be, I don't think the Bulldogs outside of their rookies have big jumpers. We will see probably a positional change from someone, but I just don't see it at the Bulldogs. You could maybe say Matt Kennedy, but I think Riley Sanders is the one. I think he's one that, if you take out Vestcanes, he's already averaging 70, so I have a feeling he could go 90, 85, 90, which is still plus 20 or so. So I have a feeling that's what he could do. And he'll lose midfield status, forward status after this year, I feel like. So anyway, that is 1 minute on each side going through the AFL Fantasy biggest rises, I feel like, for the 2025 season. Just sort of a preview before the previews of each team. So yeah, this is the last recorded video for about 3 weeks, I feel like. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy it on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when all of the previews come out each day, 12 p.m. So just put the notification bell on so you get that. And then if you're listening on Spotify, give me a follow and a rating over there. And I'll see you guys for all the previews that are already recorded, and see you back for live content in January. So I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.